Welcome to today's Explainer. Right off the bat, we're going to look right past the surface of the things we read, the media we consume, and the data we use literally every single day. We are going to uncover the hidden structure behind all of it. Have you ever noticed how the exact same piece of information can feel completely different just depending on how it's presented to you? Well, that hidden structure, that specific arrangement, actually has a name, and mastering this concept is going to completely change how you look at the world around you.
Okay, so let's dive right into this. Just think about your own experiences with tests and media. You could sit down to take a history test, and that exact same knowledge could be presented to you as a series of bubbles to fill in, like a multiple-choice test, or as blank lines where you have to write out the answers yourself. Same thing with reading. You could read an article in a super polished, glossy magazine, or print it out in a plain, text-only publication. We're talking about the exact same content here, but it's arranged in totally different ways.
Section 1. Defining the word format. So what does it actually mean?
Well, our word of the day is format. Now, I really want you to say it out loud with me, and notice exactly where the emphasis goes. Format. 2 syllables. Format. The core meaning of a format is simply the way something is arranged or organized. It's the fundamental shape and layout of a thing. And what's incredibly useful about this word is that it actually works double duty. It functions as a noun, a thing, but it also functions as a transitive verb, an action. We'll look at exactly how that works in just a sec.
But first, let's look at the DNA of the word itself. Format shares the Latin root form, and form simply means shape. You might actually recognize this exact same root from another word we've explored before, formation. When you think about it this way, it makes perfect sense, right? A format is, quite literally, the shape that information takes. It's how we mold the raw, kind of chaotic material of the world into something we can actually interact with.
Section 2. Format in action. Let's see about using the word.
All right, let's look at that dual personality of the word we talked about. Take a look at the first 2 examples here. The test used a multiple-choice format, and we're changing the format of the magazine to give it a fresher look. In both of these sentences, format is acting as a noun. It's the overall look, the specific design, the established layout of the test or the magazine. But now, look at that third example. She formatted the report so it looked clean and professional. Here, format has totally transformed into an action. To format as a verb means to actively arrange something so it has a particular appearance. She took the raw text and she actively shaped it. She formatted it for her audience.
Section 3. Format versus content. What is the difference?
Here is the absolutely crucial distinction you need to remember. Format is strictly about the arrangement and appearance. Think of it like an empty jar. Content, on the other hand, is the actual meaning, the data, the colorful liquid you pour into that jar. You can pour the exact same liquid into a tall glass or a wide bowl. The content remains exactly the same, but the format changes entirely.
Now, before we wrap up, we really have to look at how this word lives in the digital age. If you work with computers, the verb form of this word shifts just slightly, but that core meaning of arrangement is absolutely still there. In computing, formatting means preparing digital storage for use, or arranging data in a very specific way so that a program can actually read it. You are literally creating the correct digital shape for the data to live in. And hey, if you've ever accidentally formatted the wrong hard drive, you know exactly how powerful that action can be.
Section 4. Your turn to format. Applying the word.
I want to leave you with a question today. Look around you right now. How would you describe the format of something you use all the time? Think about the physical layout of a worksheet, the visual arrangement of a video, or even the audio structure of your absolute favorite playlist. Start looking for the arrangement behind the meaning. Because once you realize that the format often dictates how you actually feel about the content, well, you'll never look at information the same way again. Thanks so much for joining me for today's Explainer, and I'll catch you next time.